This segment of the videos is going to talk about the risks of surgery. Anytime anybody ever has surgery, that involves risks. What are those risks? The risks are the same for everybody. The way the risks end up becoming more or less is dependent on one patient or their medical problems. We'll start with the obvious risks, and that's infection. Anytime you have a cut in the skin, that exposes the bacteria in your skin to anything underneath. When you have a joint replacement, it exposes the bacteria all the way down to that joint. So what do we do for those risks of infection? Well, you get antibiotics before surgery, you get antibiotics after surgery. There's also a cleansing protocol that we'll do that we will talk about later in the sets of videos. The next risk is blood clot. With any type of surgery, it exposes a patient to a blood clot. During the surgery, you're not moving, the blood is circulating minimally, and it puts a patient at risk for a blood clot. If you've ever had a blood clot before, it increases your risk. If you've had any medical conditions like diabetes, that could also increase your risk for a blood clot. So what do we do for a blood clot? Well, we put patients on blood thinners. If you already are on a blood thinner, you just go back onto your blood thinner, whichever one that may be. If you're not on any type of blood thinner, then we'll put you on a blood thinner for 30 days. You'll take that blood thinner. As long as you don't have any side effects for it, you stop it after 30 days of surgery, and that's it. Stiffness is another risk of having surgery. A joint is meant to be moved, and anytime you have surgery around it, your body doesn't like that. Your body doesn't understand what we're doing to it. It does understand the arthritis process because that's what it's programmed to do. So with stiffness, you have to do physical therapy. You have to do your home exercises. You do them in combination until you get to a point where you may not need the outpatient therapy. You get therapy in the hospital, you get therapy at home, and then you go to outpatient therapy. The other risks are nerve, artery, and vein injury. As we do the surgery, all our bodies are made differently. God made us all differently. We have nerves, arteries, and veins that provide blood, take blood away, and provide sensation and movement. Anytime you have surgery, you have a chance of being at risk for injury to those. If any of those ever get injured, they would obviously have to be fixed. But most commonly what happens is that the small nerves underneath the skin get cut because we can't see them, they're too small, and you may develop numbness around the incision. That will get better over time. It usually takes about a year or so for those that numbness to come back. As it comes back slowly and gradually over time, you may have complete or you may have some partial loss of numbness. Another risk, which only applies for total hip replacements rather than total knee replacements, is dislocation. Anytime you have a hip replacement, you're at risk for a dislocation, where the ball will pop out of the socket. Now, this isn't just easily going to happen out of the blue. This will happen with some type of traumatic events, fall, car accident, that type of thing. You must be careful after a hip replacement because there are precautions. However, once you're out of those areas of precautions, you should be able to go back to your day-to-day activities with the hip replacement and not worry about it just spontaneously popping out. The other risk, since we do a joint replacement surgery and we work with bone, there is a risk for fracture. As we cut out the arthritis, remove it, and put these implants in, there's always a risk for fracture. What happens? Well, it doesn't happen spontaneously, and it doesn't happen to everybody. But if it does, we would fix it before we left the operating room. Now, all these risks are standard for everybody. But as I mentioned before, certain patients carry a higher risk. Patients with multiple medical conditions, patients who are advanced age, patients who are on a lot of medications to control their medical problems, they pose a higher risk. However, generally speaking, if we follow the protocols that we've already been in place and follow them to a T, we shouldn't have any problems with any of those. But in case something ever happens, we deal with it as long as we catch it early enough. So we want you to call the doctor, call the doctor's office, let us know what's going on.